Not as much as some things used to keep me awake at night, but I would say the one thing that keeps me awake at night these days is whether or not my colleagues, whether or not my company, my businesses may get impacted by some of those unforeseen emergencies or situations. And in particular, no one can plan for all of the vicious terrorist-related attacks these days, the random shootings, things like that, which you just cannot predict often. And we make it a business in our industry to try to predict those things. As EH&S professionals, we try to understand what the next accident might be or where we might have the next problem. And some of those things you just really can't predict. So that's probably what keeps me up at night the most. And in that vein, here at Ball, we're doing some tremendous things to try to make sure that we are prepared as best as we can be for any of those types of situations.
For me, it's the workers that don't come home safe at night. You know, I always think about something could happen to them in the field. They could get injured severely or even deaths, you know, which do occur. That keeps me up at night, is not getting them home safe to their families.
The diversity of locations and the type of work that is conducted at those locations is absolutely, just in and of itself, one of our challenges. Again, we tend to fall back on phone calls and emails. But again, that's why we're trying to look for platforms and look for technologies and to leverage that to where we can become one Ball. That's our motto here at Ball Corporation. Whether we're making cans or we're making spacecraft, we are one Ball. And whether we are working in Dayton, Ohio, or Washington, D.C., or Boulder, Colorado, we are one Ball. And so that is absolutely, again, where technology can close those gaps and help us function more like a single entity as well. Those are our challenges from a geographic perspective, and hopefully technology can help us bridge those gaps.
Well, there's a lot. I think some of the biggest struggles that I see have to do with, you know, finding a middle ground, finding something that's going to work for everybody, making everybody see the importance of it and saying, hey, we need to implement this because it's going to better our company, it's going to, you know, raise our bottom line, whatever it may be. And, you know, I think the biggest barrier is how in-house environmental people have been deemed the safety manager, and they don't have the training and the background that I do. And, you know, they might have been working in the industry for years and years and years, but they're not familiar with all the regulations. They don't know what the standards are. And it's been kind of a challenge to find that middle ground and make it so that everybody sees the importance and how we fix problems.
Today's world is so small. Information is instant and it's global, and it's expected with the newer generations of graduates coming out. These kids, they don't know about delays. They expect information instantly, and they're used to getting it. And the world is a small place, and that's something we as EH&S professionals, especially those of us that have been around a while, need to make sure we embrace that and we look for those opportunities to help drive that. I think that's one of the big challenges, is getting over our heritage culture and our heritage mindset of how we've been doing EH&S for the past 20, 30 years, and thinking about doing it differently. And that's scary. I can tell you, I believe that's scary for most EH&S professionals that are out there that have more than 10 years of experience. It's uncharted territory for us. But that said, just look around. We've got to adjust. We've got to make sure that we're keeping up with the changing times. Otherwise, we'll be left behind.